Welcome to Mindset U, a podcast where we believe in everyone's ability to change. If you enjoy our content, please comment, share, subscribe. Today's episode, my wife and I share the stories of our 20-year relationship, and we get into the discussion with the guys about luck. How much luck plays into a relationship? What tends to happen with us because of our relationship, we've been in a strong relationship for a long time. Our friends and I would say a lot of the girlfriends immediately lean into you guys give me advice, right? Well, specifically Paula, give me advice. They talk to her and Paula brings me in, and then she's like, I don't give advice.
I'm gonna stop you. They're always like, you're lucky, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, because that triggers me. Because luck implies that there's little work on our part of, oh, you're lucky that you have, that Francis is not like that. It's like, the fuck? He's a person, I'm a person, and people do what people do.
But isn't there a component to luck?
Yes and no. There's a lot of work that still goes into this relationship, and that's the part that people think that you arrive at a place that it's like, oh, it's easy. No. Every day I wake up, I choose to take the high road and say how I'm feeling and be vulnerable, because like Jay said in the beginning, I'm still changing. He's still changing. So there needs to be there's work that needs to be put in. You don't ever stop putting in work. The moment you think you know somebody and you stop saying things because you think you know them, it's going to be 20 years. I still don't know this new man here sitting next to me. Every day he wakes up, his mind may change about something. Same with me. I wake up and I'm like, the things I saw 20 years ago, I don't see them the same way. There was a period of time that I did not care if Francis was sleeping with 5 other people. He could have. I could care less. Then I had kids and I was like, I kind of need him to stick around kind of now. I care now. Because if that's going to take him away from being here and helping me raise kids, yeah, I care, right? I'm getting back to the point of maybe I don't care because my kids are older. But things change. And as things change in your life, you need to still continue to know the person that you're trying to share it with. So there's luck, but there isn't. There's work. There's a lot of work, because the moment you take it for granted, that's the moment that things start going south.
I don't think the luck necessarily dismisses the work. I think it's the same thing in business. There's opportunities that you're going to get, and I'm sure that everybody goes through a relationship or finds relationships, and then, there's these women that find the good guy, mm-hmm. right? Or that guy that treated them well, but they couldn't connect to that opportunity because they didn't do the work.
But that's what I'm saying. They didn't do the work. So when I say, obviously there's opportunities to, or people who you're going to go further with because of where they are in their development or where they are in their journey, rather. Not development, because to me, we're all on a journey. You're going to find someone who's in a different place in their journey. And so you might be able to move a lot faster through certain things than with certain people who are just starting to find themselves, right? So if, let's say you start dating a 20-year-old, that you're nothing, no knocks against 20-year-olds, but you still have a lot of maturing to do. So would you be able to have the same depth of conversations with someone with more life experience? No, because they haven't had that. But it doesn't discount how deep you can go. So I don't believe that luck plays so much of a role into it, of how you can have a relationship, a successful relationship into it. It's what are your values? It comes down to finding that person who shares the same values with you. And that's where it's not luck. That's a choice you make.
So I think to your point, Mo, number one, the luck aspect, where you're hearing the response from Paola and from me, for that matter, is that there's a certain level of arrogance in us with regard to how we've built this, right? we're saying that it's not a lot of luck because we've built it, we put the energy to it. But there's something that we have to acknowledge, which is we met before those values were fully formed, which allowed us to then build them together.
Yeah.
And then be more in the same line. So now 20 years later, we're in alignment where we have the same perspective because of so much of the building. Like if we were meeting each other now without spending the last 20 years together, we would have completely different branches that we wouldn't need to work even harder towards building together to finding the common ground. So I think there is that element.
I agree with that, yeah. There is that of the time has allowed us to grow and fully form those values.
I mean, I think there is something special to your relationship that most people, anybody who's single in their 30s right now who hasn't had that, they have a lot more work to do. Like Jay's parents, I think your parents they met young too.
Yeah,
right?
They were 20. They were in their early 20s. I know they got married at 23 and then they had me at 27 kind of thing. But it was one of those things. But my mom was like, we're getting married. And he was like, I guess we're getting married. And
but I guess it's also the cultural values, right?
Yeah.
You grew up in the same area, in the same neighborhood, with the same kind of experiences. All of that matters. And it wasn't like you chose that at 15, 16 years old. It just, you met, there was an opportunity that presented itself.
I think that's where the luck kicks in, where it's not that you guys are lucky that in your relationship. I think that luck played a part in the fact that you guys were in the same place at the same time, where you guys could have been anywhere else in the world or could have been in different situations, and you somehow found each other. And I think that's the luck that people don't, when I say it, when I think of luck, that's what I think of. It's just like everything aligned in that day. Like Rancis could have been out of school that day. You know what I mean? Like just all those little things. That's where I think the luck comes in.
Before you speak, Rancis, like I wanted to kind of piggyback off Jay's thing. It's not that it's statistically impossible, right? Like what you have is not statistically impossible. It's actually highly probable, right? There is somebody that is around you that you probably had the potential to create something to this magnitude of a relationship, but they just weren't aware enough or understood themselves enough to recognize the opportunity. Whatever your upbringing was from your parents and the values they instilled in you, somehow, some way, you guys were able to recognize that and then put the work in to get to this point.
To make it work.
I think of it like this, where, because the part of arrogance that I talk about is like what Paula stated before, where we're both confident that if we were to, go our separate ways, we both have the ability to build a brand new, powerful relationship with someone else. And it goes into that point because the way I see it is like, if we're on the beach, right, and I wanted to build a sandcastle, if I don't have the skills to build the sandcastle, it doesn't matter which location on the beach I am, I'm going to suck at building a sandcastle. Once I have the skill set to build a sandcastle, I could be anywhere on that beach and build a sandcastle. Now, if I'm in an area of the beach that has rocks instead of sand, now things start getting more difficult, right? So to convert this into what we're talking about with people is like, if we have the skill within ourselves to work on ourselves and build the understanding of ourselves, and then from that understanding, make a connection with someone else and help kind of pull that out from them. That's the skills that we've developed in our relationship. And from the start, we've been sharpening. So that's where our confidence comes from. Now, the other aspect of that is like the rocks, right? So if you're dealing with a whole entire environment of people that have like, for example, a negative belief towards relationship, that believe that marriage is the devil or whatever, or that you shouldn't be with one person because it's the most boring thing. Like if these like types of views, now you're trying to build a sandcastle with rocks, and that's going to be a lot more challenging. So there's kind of like, to me, there's that balance. It's like you have to have that skill within yourself. if you're building a strong relationship, it's not happening. And this is the part about luck. It's not happening because it's the right person. It's not happening because no magic reason like that. It's because you understand yourself. You understand what you desire, and you're able to communicate that. And you're able to recognize, keep boundaries within the people that you're meeting to match those criteria and decide to move forward. Is the power of decision making when it comes to that point.
No, I think that's fair. I guess my next question would be, how much does your friendship play into everything that you just talked about? Because I think that with your partner, I know that some people are like, oh, it's like, that's my girlfriend, that's not my friend, that's my boyfriend, that's not my friend. But I'm a firm believer that you have to be best friends with your partner, because that, I think that friendship is what pushes everything else. When the love isn't exactly, when the romantic love isn't exactly there, that friendship, I feel like, is the biggest foundation that you can have, because it's that mutual respect that you have for each other. How much does that play into making your decisions and just how your relationship works in general?
I mean, that's my best friend. It's been my best friend for the longest of times. And that's the foundation to me of any relationship. You have to know. And what is a best friend?
That's where I was going.
Yeah, like, what is a best friend? Someone who knows what you're thinking about, wants to know what you're thinking about and how you think and how you view the world, and is interested in the ins and outs of you for no gain whatsoever. And so I say my best friend, but I have a few of those. I have a few people that I find it's the same relationship. Just don't give me the D, but you know.
Yeah, that's where I was going, because I have a ton of relationships, like strong relationships, that I feel like that high level of connection, the commitment aspect of ours is that our life is being built together. So our future has like this side-by-side view. So like our commitment is to that, to staying in alignment. Where with a friend, like Mo and I have a very strong relationship, and because of our business partnership, it goes more into that, like, okay, our future is intertwined, right? But there's always that, like, okay, but we're not locking each other into that future. And I feel like Paula and I also have that, but there's a stronger commitment to, like, yeah, but we're going to do more to make sure that stays in alignment.
No, that makes sense. And I mean, speaking of Moses, like, he's my longest relationship I've ever had in my life.
How long have you guys been friends?
Since we were 9.
Yeah.
So what is that now?
Since 3rd grade.
I don't know.
I
It's
didn't
close
even
to
count it, most of my adult life.
It's probably going to be like close to 30 years.
Yeah.
Wow,
He's
you
my longest friend that I still speak to.
You guys love each other?
Yeah. It's one of those things. I feel like we love each other so much that we hardly ever talk to each other. Because it's one of those things that, like, at the end of the day, like, I know he'll be there and vice versa, you know, and I feel like the older we get, the more I'm like, wait, you got a dog now? There's so many things, but it never was like, oh, we don't talk anymore. Like, does he still care about me?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't even call him my best friend. That's my brother.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, of course he cares about me. He's fucking busy. That's why.
We're adults. We have lives. We're into different things. I'm a stoner. He's not. Like, I don't like leaving my house too much. So, like, I get it. I'm not into the salsa scene. He was super into the salsa scene. I tried going to, like, 2 of them, and I was like, I feel white.
This is not me.
I feel so white. I was like... So, you know, I think, but that's the beauty of friendship and relationships, where it's like, we don't have to be up each other's ass.
There's no doubt, right? Of the other person's intention, and that's what it is. We
already did that. We did that whole thing where we were up each other's ass for all of our teen years, all that stuff.
Were you at his house like every day?
Oh, he was at my house every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like every day.
Almost every day.
Almost every day.
Yeah. If I wasn't there, if he wasn't at my house, I would be at his house.
I mean, we were always at his house because he had all the cool shit.
Of course.
Yeah.
You're the single
He had
child.
the video,
I get it.
he had the video games and the food and.
Yeah. But I also think when it comes down to it, like, there's nobody I trust more than him.
You know, your girl might listen to this.
Aside from my girl, aside from my lovely future wife,
getting there. Okay,
but she knows this. She knows that there's like 2 other male relationships, my heterosexual life mates that I have. That she's up there, but she's not going to be a 6 foot tall Puerto Rican,
and she's not 30 years in. So
she's not. Jason here with Mindset U, and I just want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart for tuning in and watching us every week. Since Mindset U is taking a different approach, we need your help coming up with new topics of stuff that you want to hear so that we can give you the best quality possible and the best content possible in general. It's fun. Come on, help us out. Help us help you. Anyway, you can head over to vitoproject.com to watch any of the old episodes, any of the new upcoming episodes that are coming. You could also check us out on Instagram and on YouTube. And anywhere else that you could possibly think of that you want us to be, let us know. We'll be there. All right? Thank you so much.